Hi, in this video of Code G, I'm going to be starting with the introduction of your course in environmental economics. I'm going to spend a few minutes in this video just talking about how the course is structured and what you can expect from it, as well as how the rest of the course, as in the videos themselves, are structured, just so it becomes a little easier for you to navigate around when you are starting off. So essentially, in a lot of cases in environmental, because you have a lot of reading material to the course as well as a lot of concepts to cover, what I generally do is that I cover the concept that is involved in the reading, and in case there are things that I find that are important from the reading which need to be read, we have included PDFs for the concepts that are covered. And the PDFs are essentially highlighted sections of the book, which in my understanding are kind of important to just once go through. Obviously I give details of which PDFs are relevant where, and how to be how they are supposed to be used for each of the units, and wherever I've used them. But it is important to understand that in environmental, it's not just a course which is kind of heavy on the concepts, because there is a lot of things that you're kind of expected to know, but it's also quite heavy on the reading aspect of it, in the sense that there's a lot of readings that have been given to you and that have been assigned, and while a lot of them say a lot of similar things, it kind of becomes hard to navigate around those readings if you don't have sort of guiding points, which is exactly why the inclusion of the PDFs is kind of necessary, because I think they give you a broad sense of what is important in this course versus what is definitely something that needs to be covered, and what you can kind of skip, and so on and so forth. So the idea of combining videos with PDFs is so that it doesn't become overwhelming, and doesn't become something that where you feel that you're out of touch with the reading, which is possible because you just see the video from our end, and I wouldn't want you to feel that kind of overwhelmed. I don't know, I mean, I wouldn't want you to feel that kind of confusion towards the end of the course, because I know that that's kind of normal, which is why it is from the very first unit till towards the end of the course. All the videos have been interspersed with PDFs here and there. Sometimes the PDFs are also notes that I have used myself. In a lot of videos, you will see that I have used photos of my own notes. Again, this is done just so you can kind of get a sense of what are the important things to be picked out from all of the text that you have in front of you, and be able to write it in the manner that is kind of important, because in an environmental economics paper, please understand that it's not the concepts that you study here, once you get them, they're not very difficult. They're not difficult concepts at all. It's just that because there's a lot of ground to cover, it automatically becomes very important that number one, you do the things that you do very well. I mean, that's true for anything, but more so for environmental, because if you're doing this at towards the end of the course or towards the end of the semester, then you probably won't be able to cover everything, which means that you need to cover what you're covering quite well, so that you're able to answer those questions in the manner that is required of you, and that serves you the purpose of fetching your marks. So to be able to do that, you need to know exactly how to write a particular answer, and the inclusion of the notes and PDFs, and even the photos of the notes in the videos itself is done just so those things can become a little easier. Okay, is there anything else? Yes, the other thing that I like I had to point out was that a lot of concepts that you cover in environmental economics, particularly on the micro side of things, because that's primarily what you're going to cover in this course, are going to be concepts that you've studied previously, particularly as part of your micro sem 4, or maybe even microsem, too. So essentially a lot of microeconomics that you would have covered previously, or public economics if you've studied it already, I'm not sure. Those are the kind of concepts that you would be required to kind of remember here. Now obviously no video, and nowhere in the videos do I assume that you certainly would know something. One of the ways to, navigate around this kind of thing is that you take what I'm saying as given. Saying, for example, if I tell you that this particular condition is an efficiency condition, you can take it at the face value and assume that I'm right. Or you could obviously always kind of go back to the relevant sections from microsem 4, for which guidance can be provided to you, and we can help you out with the videos as well. So that's not an issue at all. Other than that, to kind of make this transition of certain microeconomic concepts which are important easier for you, what we've also done is that we've recorded the some basic microeconomics concepts which are kind of required throughout this course in a generalistic setting, so to say. And I will be covering those concepts in the next 2 videos, and those are just like a very, very short, very quick recap of a few things which may be important in the course of things to come. Obviously, please understand that they are not the main concepts that are addressed in this course, so to say. In this course you will go a step further. These are concepts that you would have studied previously and would be kind of required to be mildly familiar with when you start with this course. And I say mildly familiar only because again, I wouldn't want you to feel overwhelmed in terms of what you're reading and what you're seeing on your screens. So in the next 2 videos, I'm going to be talking about the concepts of equilibrium, efficiency, optimality, and the difference between optimality and efficiency. I'm also going to be talking about and I'm just going to be addressing this from the consumer side of things at the moment. I'm not getting into the business of externalities or the production side of things, because those are things that are going to be covered in videos to come and as part of your main units themselves. But the idea here is that I'd just like to cover some basic aspects of it, so that you don't feel lost when you actually start those videos. That being said, if you feel that you're comfortable with it, or you remotely remember what those things were about, I would my suggestion would be to kind of go to the videos for those videos directly, and then figure out if you need to kind of come back to these. All right. Okay, so that's it for now. Thank you.